Good evening. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. My name is Barbara Jones. I am the Director of the Office for Intellectual Freedom and the Executive Director of the Freedom to Read Foundation at the American Library Association in Chicago. I am a citizen of Chicago, but I am speaking for ALA. Attending with me are Deborah Caldwell Stone, Attorney and Executive Director of OIF, Nanette Perez, Program Officer for Banned Books Week in OIF, and Robert Doyle, the Executive Director of the Illinois Library Association. The American Library Association is the oldest and largest library association in the world, founded in 1876. We have approximately 65,000 members in all 50 states, plus international members. ALA includes such divisions within ALA as the Association for Library Services to Children, the American Association of School Librarians, and the Young Adult Library Services Association. We do care deeply about and have expertise in library services to children. Many of us are parents ourselves, or aunts and uncles, or whatever. We've worked for many years with libraries and communities just like this one in developing policies and services. Our policies have been quoted in court cases. We would therefore have no motive whatsoever or reason to mislead libraries, since we take our reputation and our members very seriously, and they do come from all ranges of the political spectrum. I have had the opportunity to visit your beautiful library before tonight and witness the good work you are doing for your community. Your library and staff have always welcomed me, and the layout of your building shows your consideration for children and other users' special requirements. We are also pleased that you have written policies that are in line with libraries throughout the United States and are very child protective, notwithstanding current hyperbole and negative comments. We were pleased that your local paper, The Patch, has tried to set the record straight about your excellent policies in its recent articles. ALA, NEH, and other library agencies have also been privileged to fund several grants to support your excellent programming, tailored to your diverse population and needs. These grants are highly competitive, and Orland Park's continuing success in getting funded is a tribute to Mary Weimer and her staff and board. We are also happy to continue working with you on our annual Choose Privacy Week programs. It is important that ALA and local libraries revisit their policies regularly, as you do, and we urge the board and library administration to rely on the legal advice from your attorney. If you need any additional legal assistance, we stand ready to help. We have an attorney on staff, plus an attorney for the Freedom to Read Foundation. She has prepared briefs for the United States Supreme Court related to library service and the First Amendment. Do not rely on hyperbolic statements from Facebook. Nothing substitutes for an attorney when it comes to legal matters. Legal advice on Facebook is worth exactly what you're paying for it. We understand from news reports that you are reevaluating your internet use policies. Research by library professionals shows that filters are not a silver bullet, and they can impair access to information that is legal to access. Last summer, the Google Corporation funded our office to host a conference in Washington, D.C. on filters, 10 years after the SEPA Supreme Court decision mandated filtering for libraries accepting E-rate discounts. And this meeting was not all librarians. It was experts from an entire spectrum in the United States. And I don't have time tonight to review all the conclusions from that conference, but the consensus of the participants was that filters are a flawed tool that impair education and access, and we'd be happy to provide the white papers or any further information as you make your decision. We stand ready to assist the board as you deliberate these very important decisions. I commend two excellent analyses besides the Google documents. One from Deborah, the attorney who's here tonight, and one from a practicing public librarian, Sarah Houghton, on what filters can and cannot do. And she does a thorough study every year of all the different filters, all different price ranges, and what have you. But nothing Nothing substitutes for librarians and library users working together to find information. And in the case of children, nothing substitutes for librarians, parents, and users working together. Thank you for your attention.
I'm Deborah Caldwell Stone. No problem. I am an attorney employed by the Office for Intellectual Freedom for the American Library Association. I have thought carefully about what I might say tonight, and I could go tit for tat, challenging some of the conclusions that have been offered to you about the legal authorities that govern internet access in libraries and hostile work environment. I will only tell you, and be brief about it, that it's far more complex than it's being represented here tonight. In fact, the libraries that were sued for hostile work environment settled the cases. They weren't forced to pay any money. The settlement was reached with a mutual agreement with the librarians involved to get rid of the lawsuit. And in fact, both in Minneapolis and in Birmingham, the EEOC and the Department of Justice declined to sue on behalf of the librarians. Hostile work environment is a very fact-based lawsuit. I'm sure your legal counsel can tell you that. You must have very strict standards to bring the lawsuit. You have to be targeted because you're part of a protected class based on race, sex, ethnicity, or religion. The harassment must be a result of your membership in the protected class. So these are far more complex lawsuits than is being represented here. And there have only been 3 of them over time, over the last 20 years of internet access in libraries. So I encourage you to get good legal consultation on these facts and vet these things. We're happy to assist, but I'm sure that there are other attorneys who can assist you as well. I do want to reiterate that I work with libraries on developing policies on a regular basis. You have very strong policies. They're very child protective. They're respective of your users' rights to access the internet and the library materials under the First Amendment. And there are First Amendment rights that accrue to library users. And I want to just express my respect and my appreciation for your professionalism in all of this. Thank you.
Alexandra Callewaert. Alexandra. I don't need that either. I'm a big mouth, as you've all already experienced, right? Yes. I will, yes, because it's an evil one. C-A-L-L-E-W-A-E-R-T. You're welcome. First of all, for everybody, especially the board, I apologize. I absolutely hate it when one person is trying to talk and other people start screaming at them, and what ends up happening is exactly what happened here. Nobody could hear what anyone else was saying. And that's ridiculous because we are here to listen to each other, to have a discourse that is reasonable and can get people's viewpoints across, because that's what this country is about. Now, having said all of that, and I really appreciated what you had to say, Doctor, that people should speak calmly and respectfully of one another. I'm an Orland Park resident. I have lived here for about 12 years, and I pay my taxes, reluctantly, but I do pay them. And I have children. I have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 14-year-old is super smart. She often has to go into the adult section to do research, look up information. Sometimes in the young adult section, obviously, she's up there looking for books that she wants to read. And have I had a bad experience here? No. Has she had a bad experience here? No. 10-year-old hasn't, husband hasn't. None of us have had bad experiences here. In fact, I was so impressed when I came to the library first to do some research with my kids. The librarians will walk you to the books. They'll show you exactly where they're located. They'll pull out the books that you want. And I thought, boy, good thing I'm not a librarian, because I don't think I'd be that good at it. But having said all those things, I'm also an attorney. And I have a strong belief in the First Amendment, under the right of Genghis Khan, okay? However, the First Amendment does have some limits, and it should. You can't scream fire in a crowded theater, right? Why? Because you'll get trampled. For the same reason, we should make every single effort, regardless of how minute the chances that a child is going to be harmed, because they deserve our strict scrutiny, to be absolutely 100% sure that pornography is not available to them in the library. And I understand from what you said, ma'am, they really shouldn't be up there unsupervised. But quite honestly, if I'm walking with my 10-year-old and I'm going to grab a book and he turns, "Mommy, what's that?" Not a question I'm interested in answering, okay? That's my concern. Filters are available that would help us get around these problems. Are they going to be perfect? No. I don't think they are going to be perfect. And can people still find a way around things? Sure they can. But why not have every possible safeguard? And this doesn't violate the Constitution, and it doesn't violate, no ma'am, it does not. I'm a trained attorney as well, and it doesn't. So I know she is, and I appreciate that. Thanks so much. So I will close here for the moment saying, ladies and gentlemen of the board, I respect you a great deal. I hope you make the right decision here and do choose to add these filters, and I do commend you on doing a very wonderful job under very difficult circumstances. Good evening.
Thank you.